First of all, again, good morning, and thank you so much for coming out. And always, when I see you, I see the solution and not the problem. Thank you for being here, being the answer to the situations and circumstances that not only involve DeKalb County and the city of Stonecrest and the state of Georgia, but the country. So I appreciate your willingness to serve. I appreciate your desire to be here, to make a change and to make some things happen. So we welcome you here this morning. But before we get started, we want to make a special recognition.
As many of you may already be aware, Jay Cunningham, Jesse J. Cunningham, who was a faithful school board member for many years and a community activist for even more than that, he passed away on last evening. And Jay and I had some wonderful discussions on the campaign trail, and he'll be sorely missed. He was always trying to make a difference in the community. He opened the restaurant down on Wesley Chapel, which we patronized, and our hearts are with the family, his mother, and his siblings, and those children and his wife. Our hearts are a little heavy this morning, but I know Jay now is at peace because he's been sick for a while, but his body is at rest. So we want to take a moment of silence in honor of Jay. Please. Thank you.
Is Pastor Dow here, or? Okay. Well, let us all stand for the invocation as we prepare to eat this morning. We do invoke the Spirit and the presence of the Holy Spirit. We know we can do nothing without the power of God. He is the foundation for which all things are built, and Christ is the covering for that. So, Father, we thank you for this time, for this chosen moment in time that you've given us, that you have brought people together to be the solution to the problems in this earth. We thank you for every candidate. We thank you for every supporter. We thank you for every family. We thank you for everyone that's represented here, that they will be a blessing to the earth and to the kingdom of God. We thank you, Lord, as you've given them destiny and purpose, gifts and talents to move forward to do great things in the earth. We ask that you bless them on their travels, on their journeys through this campaign. Keep them safe. Watch over them in every way. Bless this time together as we go forth in this forum. And we ask that you also bless the food today, Lord. Make it nutritious for our bodies as your word is for our souls. And we give you all the glory and praise for it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, you may feast.
Oh, that doesn't sound enthusiastic enough. Come on now. Good morning, everybody. How are you? That sounds so much better. Again, my name is Mary Pat Hector, and I will be kicking everything off for us this morning. She did reiterate the time. It's 10:45. We've got to be out of here. So this is going to be extremely quick, and I'm going to try to go and keep this thing as quick as possible. So each person will have an opportunity to do 2-minute opening remarks. I repeat, 2-minute opening remarks, and then we have a bishop who is a candidate, Commissioner Gregory Adams, 2-minute opening remarks, and then you will be able to have 1 minute to answer all of our questions, and then you will have a 1-minute closing remark. So I would like to first have our first group of candidates, Senator Tanya P. Anderson and Mr. Joel Thibodeau, come up to the platform, please. Now, I'm not sure if you all want to flip a coin or if someone knows who would like to go first, or if I have to decide. Do you all know? No? Okay, well, I'll go ahead and allow Senator Tanya P. Anderson to go first.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Tanya P. Anderson, and I am the state senator for Senate District 43, which covers portions of DeKalb, Rockdale, and Newton. Prior to serving as state senator, I served as the very first state representative for House District 92. Prior to that, served as mayor. Prior to that, served as city council member. My husband and I pastor a church. I lead worship every Sunday. And so my public service did not just begin yesterday or last week. I also retired from the United States Air Force Reserve after more than 21 years. Go veterans. I'm a member of the NAACP, NCNW DeKalb, And as I serve in the Senate, I serve on several committees. One, Defense and Homeland Security, which is veterans issues, and in that committee, we pass out bills that concern veterans. One, veterans can now receive their driver's license for free. They can use their ID to vote. They can use their ID for notary public documents. I also serve on public safety. I serve on retirement, which deals with state employees, including our teachers, so that we can make sure that our teachers' benefits are not diminished. I also serve on, Bartok. I serve on Special Judiciary. I'm a member of the Working Families Caucus, which we continue to fight for livable wages, Medicaid expansion. I also serve on the Women's Caucus, serve as a member of the Women's Caucus. In the Women's Caucus, we deal with issues that concern women, children, and families. Again, my name is Tanya P. Anderson, and I am the State Senator for Senate District 43.
Good morning, DeKalb County. Good morning. My name is Joel Thibodeau, and I'm a candidate for the Senate District 43 in the Georgia State Senate. I'm currently employed as the Director of Internal Audits and Compliance at DeKalb County School District. I also served as the Chair of the Governor's Commission on the City of Stonecrest. I'm a former Senate staffer, having served on the Senate Budget Evaluation Office, where I assisted in writing the state budget and also evaluated tax plans, including the omission of the birthday tax on your tags every year. Prior to that, I also worked in my neighborhood as a volunteer, as an HOA president. So now, why am I running? Well, in this age of Trump, and at this time when the Republican Party is trying to extend and expand its bloody red control of state government, it is now time for substantive, meaningful, energetic, effective, and inclusive representation. We can no longer afford to remain asleep at the wheel or support office holders who are on cruise control. You have to ask yourself, who works for who? Amen. And who stands for you? Amen. We have groups of people at the state government who will make deals with their colleagues, who will work with their colleagues, and then not listen to you, but after the session come back and tell you that what they've done is what's best for you. Never having listened to your concerns, never having listened to what you want for yourselves and in your community. I'm running to change all that. My name is Joel Thibodeau. I've always stood with the people. I will always stand for the people, and I need you to send me to the State House so I can stand for you. Thank you.
Senator Anderson, Georgia ranks second from the bottom in childhood obesity, endangering our children with lifelong chronic disease. What, if anything, can state policy do to address this dilemma?
Thank you for asking that question. One of the things that state policy has done as far as our children and obesity are concerned, we just passed a bill that, and I was a part, my vote was there, I'm already there, making it happen, that we have recess for our children, K through 5, grades K through 5, so that they are mobile, so that they are active, so that they are operating at their highest potential, not just educationally, but physically. We can't continue to produce children who are obese and without proper access to foods. The other thing is that we are identifying food deserts so that our children and families, as a member of the Working Families Caucus, can have access to those amenities. Thank you.
The same question to you. Should I repeat that?
I know, I'm good.
Okay.
I do believe that the bill that passed, Restored Recess to School, is excellent. We also have to look at our nutrition programs in the school to make sure that kids are not accessing the junk that they have access to in the schools through vending machines and vending contracts. If we are going to have vending machines in the schools, then they should have healthy snacks and healthy alternatives, and not the junk that they have now. We also need to look at after school and summer programs. One of the things driving obesity is simply sedentary lifestyles. Kids sit in front of the television, they're babysat by the television, they're playing video games, they're no longer outdoors playing, participating in sports, and doing things over the summer while their parents at work. I believe that state funding should be directed to those programs, and I'll be the one to fight for them.
Recently, we've seen so many, especially young people, bring up a lot of issues impacting our state that they feel are very important. And as an advocate, Mrs. Anderson, I want to know what is one of the #1 challenges you believe are facing this state. Hopefully you can incorporate young people in that particular statement. And how would you address this challenge? Yeah, so like, I mean, I'm saying that I'm seeing a lot of just young people in general, and people get involved politically and actively in our state. And I know as a state representative, I want to see what you believe is one of the main issues challenging our state, and how do you feel that you can address that issue?
So one of the issues that I feel is a challenge to our young people and to our children within the state, we just had several issues concerning gun violence. The main issue that I have opposed time and time again, year after year, we just had the walkout of the chamber, 17 minutes, where we advocated with the teens, with the youth, so that they would know that we are standing with them, and we are creating laws and standing on laws that defy guns, access to guns in every place. It's a sad day that we have them in our churches, you know, allowed in our churches, allowed in our schools. We can't continue to allow that type of access. And it's not that I'm against the Second Amendment, right? It's just that we have to have responsibility when we handle weapons and handle guns. And so that's one of the things that I would like to include and incorporate our young people and teens in, as well as others. I have to stop.
Thank you.
I do believe that gun violence is a scourge on the community, and especially involving young people. So many of the people that are gunned down, that are suspects in crimes, are our youngest people. But in that vein, we also need juvenile justice reform. We have a juvenile justice system that seems to be bent on creating more criminals instead of reforming them. We also have to look at college costs. A lot of our young people are rising through high school and are looking at going to college, but the costs are prohibitive. There's no reason why a 22-year-old should graduate from college with leading prospects for a job, but $40,000 to $50,000 in debt. One of the ways that state government can address that is more funding to career technical training, so that our kids can get an affordable education and go directly to a job, and also early college academies, which cuts the time in college in half, with kids that graduate with high school diplomas and college degrees, and they only have to pay for the other 2 years. Thank you.
Senator Anderson, I'd love to hear your 1-minute closing remark.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to come and be with you this morning. But I want to say that as the state senator for Senate District 43, I have already implemented bills and laws that concern our community. I have already stood and fought for working families. I have already stood and fought for women and children as a member of the Women's Caucus. One of the main things that I have continued to do is be involved in our schools and our communities. I have not been appointed by the governor on any commission or any board, but I have been voted in by the people. My name is Tanya P. Anderson, and I ask for your continued support and for your vote on May 22nd.
Yes. The one thing I can tell you is that I will work for you. The emphasis being on work and the emphasis being on you. The things that I've done have been voluntary. I have not been paid a dime for any of the work that I have done in this community, as much as I've done. When I go to the State House, I will propose legislation. One bill being proposed over the course of a term is not acceptable. When you show up at the State House, you have to have the people's concerns in mind. You have to bring it to the Legislative Council, and you have to file bills on behalf of your folks. Local bills, general bills, policy bills, procedural bills. I will do that for you. I will not sit and take your tax money and hold a position and not do the work of the people. My name is Joel Thibodeau. I want your support. I will support you. Thank you.
Juan Parks, come to the platform. Good morning, how are you? First, we would like to hear the opening statement come from the Congressman.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are dealing with a president who is out of control. Yes. He is chaotic. He's doing a lot of harm to the nation as we speak, but unbeknownst to him, because he's very impulsive, he just acts in a way that that is very hurtful, and he doesn't understand what he's doing. And in a situation like that, it means it's incumbent on Congress to be experienced, to be institutionalists, and to protect this republic from the harm that's being done. And unfortunately, the majority in Congress is not doing that. They are aiding and abetting the president as he systematically but unknowingly tries to destroy the fabric of this nation. And so I'm happy to be a member of Congress. I have experience. I've been there for 11 years. I have served for 10 years on the Armed Services Committee, which has enabled me to understand the security needs of this country and how we relate to the rest of the world. I also serve on the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee as a senior member and the former ranking member of the Emergency Management, Public Buildings, and Economic Development Subcommittee. My most important committee is on the Judiciary Committee, where I have served for the last 11 years, was a part of the team that impeached Judge Thomas Porteous, which was an impeachment proceeding that I was a part of. I'm standing ready to be a part of the future of Congress as we deal with impeachment issues that are coming before us, and I ask that you continue to allow me to serve you. And with that, I yield the mic.
So good morning, DeKalb County. My name is Juan Parks, and many of you have heard me say before that I'm a United States Marine. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a friend, all of those things. But in a conversation this morning with one of you in the audience, I was reminded that I need to let you know one other thing about me, and that's I'm a fighter. And I intend to fight for you the same way that I have fought for you over the past 20 years when I'm elected as your next representative. I intend to fight for you with the hallmarks of honor, courage, and commitment as core values for what we need for success and leadership for the future of the 4th Congressional District. I'll do these things by ensuring the safety, the education, and the well-being of our children. You all came here this morning not to hear me. You all came here this morning not for yourselves, but you came here for those children. Amen. You came here for those children who are going to take our place tomorrow. And I think that it is time that we harness all of our efforts, all of our passions, and we do everything that we can to ensure a better place for them tomorrow. If you believe in half of that, I ask that you join me as we take leadership for the future to Washington, D.C., for together we can make a difference. I am Juan Parks. I am your next representative for Georgia's 4th Congressional District. Thank you.
Thank you. My first question would be, what experience do you each bring to the table that would benefit the citizens of DeKalb County?
Well, I practiced law for 27 years. Before I became a lawyer, I went to law school. And in going to law school, I learned about the Constitution. And so I am a protector of the Constitution. I'm an adherent to the Constitution. And at these times, ladies and gentlemen, these crucial times in this nation's history, we need adherence to our Constitution. And I think that my legal training gives me that edge to be able to do that. I've been proud to be able to support things like health care for all, things like universal background checks on people who purchase firearms, limits on the rights of people to bear arms. And in fact, I question the concept that the Second Amendment is something that we need to continue to have in this country. And I'll look forward to explaining my views on that as we move forward.
Experience. The experience that I bring forth is the same experience that you bring forth and the same experience that you see. I'm a native, born here, raised here. In my blood, I have the blood of slaves flowing through my veins. I have the blood of slave masters flowing through my veins. And it's the relationship between those two over the past 200 years that has helped us become what we are right now as a district. If things are or were as bad as some would lead you to believe, you all are smarter than I am. You would have left here a very long time ago. But you have faith. You have faith in each other. You have faith in humanity. And I look forward to bringing that message of faith back to the people, to restore hope that we are okay. And I will too protect the Constitution, every single amendment. And I will not allow anyone to dismantle your right to sit here and express yourself and take that expression to Washington, D.C.
I did have a question. The second question would be, in what ways, because we need to do this, as hard as it is currently with the Trump administration and those very interesting beliefs, in what ways would you build a consensus or work across the aisle with those that do have the same mindset as our current President of the United States of America? In what ways would you work across the aisle with those individuals to benefit the citizens of DeKalb County?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that everybody in here built this country. We built this country. Our people built this country. We're not leaving. We never even thought about leaving. This is our country. And so we want to stand and fight for the values that we hold dear. Now, folks who support Trump, either because they believe in his program or because they are afraid of him, I had to fight. And they don't want to negotiate, which means that I can't negotiate with them. My door is always open to deal with anybody who thinks differently, but they have to have an open door to me also. I'm not going to give up on my values just to say that I've negotiated with someone and they have no interest in coming towards the middle. The only thing they want to do is drag us further to the right. We've been going to the right for too long in this country. It's time for us to come back towards the center, and that means coming back towards progressive ideas. And those are the things that I stand for.
So, as I traveled the district over the past 6 months or so, one thing that I have learned is that we are all in this fight together. One thing that I have learned is that the brilliance is in the people. I understand that you all have the answers. And I understand that much like me as a teacher, you all care about the future for our children.
Amen.
And so, in an effort to do the things that we're asking the questions specifically, what I have learned as I move through the district is that this is not about building relationships with people and Republicans. It's all about building relationships with people, to include Republicans. And so when we have bills brought forth like School Safe Initiative, a bipartisan bill that receives overwhelming support to ensure that we have more than $75 million annually coming back to our school systems, how could we not support such a thing? So to answer your question, I'll continue to build and forge those relationships that have brought us to where we are today.
We do have one more audience question. Thank you so much for those answers. And please, audience members, if you all do see these white sheets of paper throughout the room, please fill out some of these questions so that we can ask the candidates your questions from the audience. One of the audience questions is, how will you ensure rail transportation to our area?
That's very important. Being a senior member of the Transportation and Infrastructure Committee, that seniority is very important, particularly when Congress decides that it will remove the ban on congressionally directed spending, otherwise known as earmarks. When Congress decides that it will remove that ban on ourselves, then it puts people in positions who know the lay of the land, who have experience in navigating the course, and who have relationships with others in Congress. It means that those people will be positioned to do the congressionally directed spending that we need here in the 4th Congressional District. Who better can determine what the needs of the district are other than the congressperson who represents the district, as opposed to the executive branch, which is the only branch that can now do earmarks. So that's my response.
You know, and to that point of light rail, and the interesting one that the Congressman just made, I'll tell you who's better to make that decision. The people of the 4th Congressional District are best to make that decision. You know, as we move around, we understand that right here in DeKalb County, the need for light rail is very important. There are members of you out there right now working diligently to see that come to fruition. But I would question how would the citizens of Newton County feel about that. Now, it's not to indicate that it's a right or wrong decision. It's just to indicate that they have a voice out there as well. And so my desire moving forward, my goal moving forward, is to make sure that we understand the need for intergovernmental relationships throughout the district. Newton County, Rockdale County, Gwinnett County, and DeKalb County should at least understand what music is being played if we're not on the same sheet of music when it comes to light rail.
Well, thank you both for your answers and your responses. We really appreciate it. Yes, you all do get a chance to close with your 1-minute remark.
Gosh, citizens of DeKalb have been paying that MARTA tax since 1973, 1 penny. We've not gotten our fair share, and it's time that we did. One of the things that has to be on the table, we can't settle for light rail. That may be something that it comes forward, but I'm a proponent for heavy rail if it's within our means to do so. And I represent half of Newton County, all of Rockdale, and a little bit of Gwinnett County. I have been to all 4 counties on a regular basis, getting input from the people. I understand the district and I understand the people, and my ears and heart and mind are always open to what the people desire. And so I don't have to hit the ground running because I'm already running. So thank you for your support, and look forward to your support on May 22nd.
We have an opportunity, DeKalb County. We have an opportunity to do what was intended with your vote in November of 2016. We have an opportunity not to make America great again, but to make our children proud. We have an opportunity to enact legislation right now that will take the voice of our children into tomorrow. We have an opportunity to make a difference so that when we find ourselves in our winter years, we know that the promise of spring that blooms forward from our children will keep us safe and secure in tomorrow. So I ask you to consider those things. Consider the needs of your children, the needs of our future, when you go in to make your vote on May 22nd. Remember Juan Parks for Congress. Go to the website, make a donation, join the team that will make a difference. Again, for together, we can.
Thank you. If candidates DaCosta, we will begin with opening remarks. If you would like to start, candidate DaCosta.
How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing good. Good. Use the mic.
The mic?
Microphone.
On the table. Today's Watch My Nephew Day, so I had to bring him along with me. Tijon DaCosta Jr., my twin brother's son. Well, I would like to first thank everyone for coming out. Thank you to the Turners, and I do want to say first, I send my condolences out to the Jesse J. Cunningham, the past board members for DeKalb County School District, for his passing. This has been a journey. It's been a tremendous journey, and I'm glad I'm up here to fight with this journey. My name is Tijon DaCosta, and I started off here in DeKalb County from the pre-K, matriculated myself to graduating at Redan High School, the almighty Redan. Then along, I went to Kennesaw State University, majored in sociology with the criminology as my concentration. I found a need for my students in my community. I do apologize. I then along built the DeKalb Kids Project. I'm sorry. It's okay. It's been this is really hard for me today. My daughter, she's a cheerleader, and she really wanted to be here, but it's just really hard right now.
It's fine.
So I just need a little prayer.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Lance Hammonds, and I'm running for DeKalb County Board of Education District 6. And I'm really excited about this opportunity to serve in this capacity. The reason I'm running for Board of Education is I truly believe that the key to a prosperous community is academically superior schools with achievement outcomes that rival the top systems in the country. I want to work to make this DeKalb schools the system of choice for our children. The ways we're going to do that, we're going to attract and retain the best teachers and staff in this school system. We're going to increase the graduation rates and the work readiness of our students. Our district has already done a great job by increasing those numbers. I want to continue that trend. I I want to get in there and work. But the key thing that I've found in this journey is that what we really need is more community and family engagement. The data shows that the more we're involved with our schools, the better the outcomes will be. And I've already started a program with the DeKalb NAACP. I'm the education chair. And we've started a community school volunteer program where we've gotten over 150 volunteers since December of last year. We've gotten them trained, and we're going to get more people out there in our community to embrace our schools and to get involved. We can make a difference. This is our system. We have to wrap our arms around it. We can do this, but we're going to need your help. The district can't do it by themselves. Thank you.
The first question that I would like to ask is, what is one program or service in the school budget that you would cut? And what is one new program or service that you would add? Yeah, you can start.
What service I would cut? Before I go into cutting budgets and services, I need to go through the budget again. I've already gone through the budget, kind of examined it, but I need to look to see where the needs are before I do any cutting. And if there's waste, one of the jobs of the school board member is to manage the resources of the district. So I need to be a good steward. So I will look at that budget. I will find where there's waste, and if there's waste, we will cut it. And the other part of your question was?
What would you add?
What would I add? I would add more funding for community and family engagement. There is a small budget line for that right now. We need more counselors, more social workers to engage our children, to get them in that process to take care of a lot of their needs. A lot of needs that they come to school with are things they have going on at home. And so to service the whole child, we need the services and the professionals to do that. Thank you.
Really don't like the mic. Do I have to use the mic?
Can everyone hear him?
No. Okay. All right. So may you repeat the question, please?
Yes. What is one program or service in the school budget that you would cut, and what is a new program or service that you would add?
All right. So budget cutting, definitely, you know, we have to collectively come together and see what's not working. We definitely have to do that. But what I would definitely increase is more after-school activities for our kids. 5 years ago, we just incarcerated a lot of our juveniles and our teens. Now, once they come out of prison, this summer, there's no after-school activities, there's no effective mentoring programs, and there's no programs for them to sustain their academic success so that they would not be in that mix-up again. So we must increase more after-school activities for our youth.
All right, thank you very much. The next question. Thank you. Throughout the campaign trail, a lot of candidates discuss issues wrong with the DeKalb County School District, but I would like to ask you all, what's the greatest strength of the DeKalb County School District? And anyone could start if they'd like. Thank you.
One of the greatest strengths of our school system is this diversity. We have a very diverse community that the district is serving that diverse community. The district, what I've seen, they're very responsive to the needs of the children. Finding ways to enhance achievement, finding out exactly what is needed. And so it's listening. It's listening. And that's one of the things I want to do more of when I'm elected to your school board. I want to go out and have listening sessions where I listen and hear what's going on in our community so I can bring that back to the board and they can act on it. We can't work and act with the community if we don't hear. And sometimes not everybody can make it to a school board meeting when they have the opportunity. But I want to give everybody an opportunity to voice their opinions and share with the community so we can have a more diverse conversation about how to improve our schools in our district.
What do you believe is one of the greatest strengths of the DeKalb County School District?
The DeKalb County School District represents over 157 different languages in our district. Being able to hire the teachers and staff for district, for regions 3 and 4. And also too, while working with the Cobb County School District Human Capital Management Department. I do feel that coming together as one, as this gap is being bridged. Jesus. I'm doing something.
You're fine. I promise.
What was the second question?
Well, what is the greatest strength of the DeKalb County School District? So you talked a lot about diversity. Do you feel that that's the greatest strength?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you very much. We do have a audience question, and that question is, and I'm going to alter it a little. It says STEM is failing, but I think that STEM isn't failing in all of DeKalb County. I do think that there's a big difference between North DeKalb and South DeKalb. So it does state that STEM is failing, and teachers are not trained in tech to prepare students for jobs of the future. And what will you do in this capacity to change that?
First, we must allocate the budget correctly and provide resources to the different schools that are in need. There has been, you know, working with the South DeKalb schools, one of my elementary schools that I actually went to, E.L. Miller, by building capacity within our community. The first thing is to unite everyone together so that if the school district doesn't have the opportunity to do it, we can bring in organizations that has, you know, that has the ability and capability on making that happen for our children.
Thank you.
I believe the question was STEM failing?
Well, it says that STEM is failing, and it says teachers are not trained in tech to prepare students for jobs created of the future. What will you do to ensure that changes?
I disagree that STEM is failing. I'm hearing a lot about STEM. There's lots of programs out there regarding STEM. My background is in biology and chemistry. I work for a global metals and mining company. I sell H2SO4, sulfuric acid. And so there are opportunities out there for STEM. What we have to do is more of it. We have to attract the professionals that can come into our schools and share that information with these programs. And then that goes back to work readiness when kids leave school. You don't always have to go to college to make a lot of money. If we train these kids with the skills they need to go to work when they leave our buildings, that'll get it done. And that also enhances our graduation rates. If we can keep them in school, learning these skills that they can use when they get out, we don't have to worry about them not graduating. That's part of the program, and that's what we need to build upon and keep doing.
Each candidate will go ahead and start their 1-minute remark, closing remark.
As a long life DeKalb County residents, as a long life DeKalb County residents, as a teacher here in DeKalb County School District, I taught human anatomy, physiology, and also chemistry here at Miller Grove High School. As a proud member of my community to bring back and bridge this community back together, we must all come and be able to help our children, because they matter. Today's my day with my nephew. And I got to build that bridge for young DeCosta, T-John DeCosta Jr. See, with my face being up there, it gives and it provides our children hope that they can do anything that they put their minds to, no matter what the circumstances are. I have to provide that hope for this young man and for my community. That's why I built the DeKalb Kids Project by hands, by ground, so that our children can be that understanding that they have aspirations and anything that they need in life are here. Worked. As a teacher, and I still teach in DeKalb. And I want to continue to be that voice for our teachers, our parents, and most definitely our youth. So on May 22nd, a change it needs to come. Please vote to elect Dijon DaCosta, Dijon Twin DaCosta. My identical twin is not here today. But that is Dijon Jr. That's his son, so he is here with me today. Thank you so much.
Again, I would like to thank everyone, and I'd like to thank the Turners for this opportunity. I'm a hands-on guy. Anybody that knows me in DeKalb County, they know I've been going to school board meetings for years. They know I've been PTA president at all the schools my children have attended. I have 7 grandkids. I sponsor the junior ushers at my church. I'm always involved with children. What I want to do from this point forward is take my experience and my skills that I use for corporate America to make millions and millions of dollars and apply that to our community. We have an opportunity here to continue the great work that our school board members have been doing, and we have an opportunity to move this thing forward. And I think the thing that's missing is this family and community engagement. If we can raise the bar for that, if we can get more folks involved with that, then that'll be the difference. All the other candidates that have been up here prior to us, they're talking about children, they're talking about schools, they're talking about recess. So education is our most valuable asset in our community. Our children are our most valuable asset. I want to be a part of continuing that and making DeKalb schools the system of choice for quality education. People need to come here because that's going to drive economic development. That's going to make everything happen. So we need to start with that. Thank you.
Thank you all so much for your comments. Down to our right, okay? With everything, so every question, every opening statement, closing remarks. We'll start from our left and work our way down.
Could you ask the folks to sit beside their opponent?
Yes, that would be nice too if you all could sit beside your opponents.
What if we have the ones that have opponents sit up here near the front and I can sit in the back? If you want to do that. Okay.
If you would like to start for opening remarks, that would be wonderful.
Hello, my name is Viola Davis, and I'm a candidate for District 87, State Representative. I have a question for you right quick. I want to see all the business owners in here that have hundreds, thousands of employees and property worth $100,000 to $1 million. Please raise your hand. Okay, let's start over. How many people in here vote and pay taxes? Raise your hand. Okay, when I asked that first question, all of you, everybody in this room should have raised their hand. See, it is our vote that hire and fire elected officials. It is our tax money that pay them. Everybody in here is an employer. And I'm standing here giving you my resume to say, hire me to be your new employee. Again, my name is Viola Davis, and I'm running District 87, State Representative. Thank you.
Good morning, DeKalb County. My name is Becky Evans, and I'm proud to be a candidate for Georgia House District 83 in the May 22nd Democratic primary. This district is all in DeKalb. It is 16 miles long and 1 mile wide. It runs from Ellenwood all the way up to La Vista Road. I'm the daughter of a pastor who spent his entire life fighting for social justice and a preschool teacher who taught me the value of community. I was blessed to graduate from Emory University, where I fell in love with Atlanta and her people. My amazing husband David and I have lived in DeKalb County for 25 years, and we love our community. I've been an 18-year volunteer with DeKalb County Public Schools. 10 years ago, I saw that some sports were better funded than others, and some kids couldn't afford to pay for equipment. That's when we decided to form the nonprofit Druid Hills Athletic Association, so that lack of money doesn't prevent our kids from playing sports safely. I spent the last 3 years working as a local issues advisor at the Capitol, and I know, because I've seen it firsthand, that our hardworking families and small businesses are being underserved by Representative Howard Mosby. He's a nice guy, but he's doing a poor job at representing
Unfortunately, we're
us.
going to have to wrap up, Mrs. Stephanie.
We can do better. I pledge to restore your trust and be an effective, accountable, ethical, transparent, and engaged public servant. My name is Becky Evans, and over the next 6 weeks, I hope to earn your support, your prayers, and your vote for state representative in the May 22nd Democratic primary.
Thank you. I just want to interrupt for just a minute. I'm just going to ask that you pay attention to the signs here because we're on a very tight time constraint for all the candidates. We want to give everybody ample opportunity, so let's work together. Thank you so much.
Good morning. I am State Representative Howard Mosby, and I am proud to serve the House District 83. I've been doing it for the past 16 years, and it's been an honor. Let me just say this. The General Assembly, when we're in legislative session, is the most dangerous place in the state of Georgia. And we need to make sure that we have individuals down there that's going to advocate for our community, advocate for this state, to put this state in position so that we can be a leader in this nation. I am down there working for you. I am a 24-year employee of the Grady Health System. I have been chairman of the DeKalb House delegation since 2009, and it is indeed my honor to serve the citizens of DeKalb County. I look forward to questions in this forum. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. It is an honor and a privilege to be the representative in House District 90. The first thing that I know, I've been there for a while, but we have to not just look at what it is that's going on in our county. We have to have the ability to stand up with courage to take on, I say, when it's a legislative issue that is in the wrong interest of our county, we must stand up, fight it, and do it away. When I say do it away, I mean to kill the bill. It is great to go forward and make sure that we're doing legislation that is in our best interest. It is great that we know what's in our best interest, but if we don't have the courage to move it forward, it never moves. So those are some of the things that we work on. It is a pleasure to be there to do that. It's more of a pleasure to know that people will come out and look at the people that are running, the people who have the incumbents, and make a decision. Thank you very much. Look forward to the questions.
Good morning, good morning. My name is Greg Shilley. I'm a candidate for House District number 90. I'm an entrepreneur, builder by trade with a passion for education. We know that teachers are underpaid, underappreciated, and overworked. This has got to stop. Once I'm elected, I want to push for state funding for teacher mentorship programs in District 90. Business, education, and community goes hand in hand. Once we improve our school systems, we can improve our business environment. Let me ask you a question. Have we all seen the development going on around in the metropolitan area, Atlanta metropolitan area? A lot of development is going on in the Atlanta metropolitan area. One of the reasons why we don't see a lot of development going on in South DeKalb is our school systems. I believe that we must work with our school systems and properly fund our school systems to properly attract good businesses. You see, once we...
Unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap up. I apologize. I hate doing that to people, I do. But thank you very much. You have 1 minute. 2 minutes, but I'm sorry, 2 minutes? 2 minutes?
No, it's been cut down to 1 minute.
Yeah, because you all have more people on this panel than expected. It was originally supposed to be 2. Yes, so 1 minute.
Good morning. I'm Michelle Henson, and I represent the 86th District, which I've been very proud to serve for the past 28 years. And this district has been subject to change over the years. At the present time, it goes from Glenwood Road to La Vista Road, and it's diverse, it's north and it's south. And I believe very strongly in working with my constituents, working with neighborhood organizations, and homeowners. I work down at the Capitol with my colleagues. I think the DeKalb delegation is wonderful. We really come together and work together to try to bring resources to DeKalb County. We also work with other elected officials from Congress to the school board. It's important. In order to make DeKalb a stronger and better place in which to be, we have to all roll up our sleeves, work together. And as constituents, as residents of DeKalb County, we invite you to join us to move forward on positive issues. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to the hot seat. How are you? If you can, please pass the microphone down so that he can do his opening statements and remarks, and then you'll also have the honor to answer the first question.
My name is Eldine Hurd. I just want to know how many of you guys are not running for a position here, not candidates? How many? Can you raise your hand? Good, good. I just want to make sure that I'm speaking especially to you. My concern is I just had an opportunity to spend some time down at the Capitol this past session, and I just became a little bit concerned because what I've seen that after a period of time, we began to revere our elected officials. We began to revere them in a manner where we sort of subordinate ourselves and feel like we're subordinate to them. We're not. And after a period of time, and as their popularity grows, we do something that we shouldn't do. We stop holding them accountable. It's our responsibility to hold them accountable. That's what we must do, always. Now, I'm here because I want to say that I want us to move forward, and our elected officials should also stop talking about economic development in South DeKalb and do something about it. They should be a part of and create through public-private partnership, STEM programs, and career academies for our young folks so that they can graduate high school and be employed. Thank you. I'm Eldine Hurd. District 94.
Oh, no, keep that microphone. We have the first question.
I got it.
The first question is, what action will you take to grow jobs for the county and the state? You just charged everyone else in the room, but what will you do?
What will I do? What I'm doing already is this. I'm the chair of the Green Haven Business Alliance, and what we're doing right now, we have about 4 businessmen that's taken that former headquarters that was the Democratic headquarters, and we spent our own money, we built it out. We have a meeting space that's available for community events and for community improvement. We're there to make sure that economic development happens in South DeKalb. We know that the city of Green Haven did not happen, but we're here to say that economic development will happen in South DeKalb. Thank you.
Thank you. It's the same question. Should I repeat it?
How do we grow jobs?
Yeah, what action will you take to grow jobs for the county and the state?
Well, let's just look at why we are losing jobs. Let's look at education. How many people in here knew that since 2003, maybe by 2006, they pulled over $9 billion, about $49 billion out of education? See, a lot of our teachers are underpaid and we can't attract more teachers. See, how many of you knew that we paid $33 million a month for transportation, that MARTA tax? See, if we could keep some of that money, we could improve our roads, grow jobs that way. See, I want you to know, a lot of the legislation that is passed and that goes down is not to our benefit. And a lot of what I just told you, if you didn't know, you should have. It's time for you to do a job evaluation, all right, as employers. It's time for new employees. I'm not running against the incumbent. I'm running to replace his ineffective leadership.
Thank you.
We definitely know we need to build an economy that reaches all of DeKalb. I want to explore models that work for investments in communities, like community improvement districts and opportunity zones. Opportunity zones are where employers are given tax credits for hiring full-time employees. I also want to be, I am the clean energy candidate, and I want to help build a clean energy economy in DeKalb and in the state of Georgia.
My time's up now. Thank you very much. One of the most important things that we need to do in order to grow jobs, not only in DeKalb County and the state, but make sure that we have actually a stable government. And it is indeed my effort, my intention to ensure that our government in DeKalb County is as stable and is as effective as it possibly can be. A lot of the legislation that we deal with in the DeKalb House delegation is about stabilizing DeKalb County. And let me just say this, again, I said the General Assembly is the most dangerous place. What has happened to DeKalb County happened at the state capitol. It didn't happen out here in the streets. And we had to respond to that. And so one of the things that we had to do as a delegation is make sure that we were able to lock arms and make sure that we protected your rights and your interests at the state capitol. That helps us grow businesses, grow jobs for our county. Thank you very much.
The first thing I'm going to say is I believe in making sure that everyone who has an elected office can withstand a report card. We must do that. I will put my report card up to anyone that's running, anyone in this room, because we must be held accountable for what we do. It is true that we can't do our roles because we're doing other things by not being in the majority. We have to change what's going on in the Golden Dome. We have to make sure that we're doing in our area what should be done. And with that, I can tell you that if we don't look at livable wages and education and how we're going to say no to the budgets, then we need to go home. All right.
When we talk about economic development, this is what I do. And my statement will not have any glossy language or big words or anything like that in it. I've been in business for 14 years, 1 month, and 28 days. What we do is work with local municipalities, states, and the federal government. See, a lot of times people think that when there are issues out there with their state government or the local government, they have to handle it with their state government and local government. That's not what you have to do. Sometimes there's community organizations out there that can help you. There's community organizations that can tap into federal funds and state money and build their business and help their community. However, let me tell you this, because I've been on both sides. I'm an entrepreneur and I was an educator. If we want to bring business and economic development to South DeKalb, we must support our teachers. We must support our teachers. Get our education system together.
Thank you. Economic development is an issue, a big one in DeKalb. And I've been looking at what can we bring in? What industries can we attract? And I've been talking to folks at the Capitol over a period. The movie industry, a wonderful industry, not dependent on transportation issues, not dependent on the schools and all, but don't be mistaken, we need to improve our schools. That is vitally, vitally critical. Restaurants. We can bring these folks in to help educate us. They're willing. I've been talking to them all session. Will you come down? Will you help us? Will you work with us? We need to work better with economic development down at the Capitol. to work with our health issues, because we need healthy Georgians down throughout our area. And we also need to look at our teachers. We need to fund them better, and we also need to look at funding their pensions. If we want good employees at the state level, at the education level, that's critically important.
Thank you very much. And would you like to go ahead and start your closing remark?
How long?
1 minute.
Okay. Thank you. Well, again, I'm Michelle Henson. I'm running for re-election for 86 House District. I live off Memorial Drive, where I've been involved since before I ever got elected, since the early 80s. I've worked closely with community leaders there. I've been an entrepreneur and running a dental practice on Memorial Drive with my ex-husband. I have been a resident for nearly 40 years out there, so I know all the problems. The question is, how do we attract businesses back? Working together, it's critically important. I can't emphasize it enough, that we need to work, not be naysayers, but roll up our sleeves, work together. Let us as elected officials use the resources that we're able to bring them into you, the community, and to help make everything better for us. I'm willing. I've been there since the early 80s. I've rolled up my sleeves, and I'd like to continue to serve you as the representative from District 86.
Thank you.
Thank you for allowing me to speak. Business, education, and community goes hand in hand. Business, education, and community goes hand in hand. Without a good educational system, it's going to be very hard to attract businesses into our community. Again, I'll say this again, we must properly fund, through the state, we must properly fund education programs. One of my platforms is funding teacher mentorship programs. Teacher mentorship programs. What our school systems need in District 90 is teacher-student continuity. A lot of times our teachers come in, they want to change the world, they find out it's hard to operate in our community, and they're gone. So Congress is created by people with families, and people with families want good and productive schools. Because good schools attract good businesses creates jobs, and more jobs reduce crime.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have been working as an attorney for well over 20 years. I spent a lot of time transitioning. When we talk about health care, I did the transition for Grady Health System into getting people within our community the ability to get health care that was accessible, quality, and the ability to do so without continuing to pay money outside of DeKalb and Fulton counties, because we weren't there to make sure other people. I'm going to tell you just two more things. One is that if we don't resolve the criminal justice system in our communities and look at everyone in the community, the teachers, we've taken away the monies from them, the students, and then we have to remember that the students aren't going to do anything that the parents aren't helping them do. So we have to spend time with the families and teaching them the economic issues as well. Because if we just know it and we don't give everyone else the chance, then it's not going to work. Thank you very much.
We'll get together. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to you today. Make no mistake, this job is running. This is not for the faint at heart. This is not a exercise in civics. This is actually the lives of individuals, families, children that we deal with on a daily basis. You need people who are serious about what it takes to move the state forward. I'm a certified public accountant. I've been a certified public accountant for over 2 decades. I've worked in the Grady Health System. I've been in the legislature for over 16 years. There is nothing in my experience that tells me that I can't be your hero. What does that mean? That I am about healthcare. I'm about education to make sure that we have a means-tested Hope Scholarship Program. I'm about reform, about our criminal justice system. We need to make sure that we get militaristic weapons off our street. And then we're about opportunity to make sure that you have the opportunity to be as successful as you can be. Thank you very much. I am State Representative Howard Mosley, and I'm running for House District 83. Thank you.
For the first time in 16 years, we will have a choice in our election of a state representative in House District 83. If you're satisfied with the status quo, vote for longtime incumbent Howard Mosley. If you share my vision, for a healthy, prosperous, and thriving DeKalb, and you want a fresh voice with a proven track record of reaching across differences, bringing people together, someone with initiative, energy, and persistence, working on our behalf within DeKalb and at the State House, I humbly ask for your vote. As our next state representative, I will be an engaged, responsive voice fighting for all of you. Thank you. Becky Evans, House District 83.
Employers of this government, if I ask you, how many of you knew that over 100 million to 120 million is pulled out by our school system because we are tax rich and we are helping the entire state, the poor counties, one of them being Gwinnett. I would say to you, if I had educated you on some stuff that you did not know, hire me. One of the first jobs I'm going to do is make sure you're informed, follow that money, so that we get our share, because we have not had equity in a long time. But remember this, as a soldier, I serve my country. As a critical care nurse, I serve my patients. As a community missionary and activist, I serve my God. But as your employee, your District 87 state representative, I will serve the taxpayers and voters. And together, we'll do magnificent things.
Thank you.
I'm Eldine Hurd, and I've heard the conversation about economic development, but more than ever before, South DeKalb and South Gwinnett needs effective leadership, not based on popularity and personal clicks. South DeKalb and South Gwinnett needs leadership that can show you results. What we see in our community are not the kind of results that I want to see. I assure you that as an individual, if you vote for me, I'm not running against any one person. I'm running against a failure in our community. I'm running because there's a failure, there's been a failure, and the only thing that's going to make that happen is a change. Amen. It's time for a change in our community. We need effective leadership. I assure you that if you give me the job, I promise you that I'll earn it the rest of the time.
Thank you.
Eldine Hurd, House District 94.
Thank you all so much. You can now exit the platform. Can I please have Commissioner Gregory Adams?
Good morning. I am Lorraine Cochran Johnson, wife, mother, concerned citizen, and proud candidate for District 7 Commissioner. It is indeed an honor to be here with you this morning, and above all else, I thank you for this opportunity to serve from River Road to Doraville, Georgia, 350,000 constituents. As an individual, I am Vice President of Business Development for Real Times Media, where the properties I represent include the Atlanta Daily World and the Atlanta Tribune. I am also Associate Publisher of Who's Who in Black Atlanta. Empirically, I'm highly educated. I have 3 degrees and attended law school. But the thing that has allowed me to to work behind the scenes on your behalf for many years is my MPA in Public Administration with a concentration in economic development. I have written and received grants ranging from $3 million to six-figure grants. I have served on the board of Destiny Achievers Academy, where...
I'm sorry, thank you so much. 1 minute, they changed it to 1 minute.
I apologize.
Thank you.
What do you got?
Okay, so I'm sorry, Mr. A, can you please go ahead and do your statement? Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ed Williams, and I would gladly take the mic. As I've done in the last 4 years, I have advocated for the people of South DeKalb and DeKalb County as a whole. I'm not afraid to speak truth to power. And so this morning, I gladly come before you and ask you for your support as the 7th District Commissioner for DeKalb County. Now, for the last 4 years, I have been speaking on behalf of a strong DeKalb and not breaking up DeKalb County. I am a professor of education. I am also an entrepreneur of technology, and I believe that DeKalb County as a whole would need better leadership as in the BOC and in CEO's position. Now, last night I watched on the news about crime in our neighborhood. We need to get a grip on that. If we do not get a grip on that, economic development will not happen in our community. It is the #1 problem in our community.
Commissioner.
Good morning. I am Commissioner Gregory Adams, District 7 Commissioner. Since I've been serving as Commissioner of District 7, we have benefited DeKalb County. DeKalb County has its first SPLOST through the county, and that SPLOST is going to bring in $636 million. I'm also on the PWI committee. In fact, when I chair that committee, I oversee a $2 billion budget. So all the business coming in and dealing with infrastructure has to come before my committee. I also work on the IRBS committee where Marita Johnson is our chairperson, and we deal with public safety and the, I forgot what public safety? Employee relations and public safety, that's it. But we're here to serve the people of DeKalb County. I'm going to tell y'all, when y'all voted for me, you made the right choice. And continue making the right choice because I'm dedicated, determined, and dependable to serve the people of DeKalb County. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We'll start with Mr. Williams. Mr. Williams, given the climate and the culture that exists in DeKalb County today, what do you see as our greatest challenge to overcome in order to enhance the quality of life for all stakeholders?
As your commissioner, if I so proudly am elected as your next commissioner, I believe public safety should be the #1 priority of DeKalb County government. We should not have 3-year-old children being killed overnight. We should not have postal workers being killed at post office while they're on duty. We should not have crime happening over in DeKalb County that has surpassed Atlanta. If we do not get a grip on crime, and the commissioner that's currently serving on the PWI is also having a former police officer, if he votes a 60% increase for his salary, he should also support the increase of police officer salary. It is outrageous for him to support a 60% increase for himself and not support police officers' increases.
I personally believe that there is a twofold issue here that must be addressed as most critical. I agree with you in terms of public safety. If we watch the news, we know what's happening within our community. Public safety and economic development go hand in hand. You cannot have one without the other. Supporting and partnering with our local police officers and ensuring that we take back our community is imperative for us to move forward. Additionally, education is equally important. Where you have high performance within schools, you have high property values. We have problems all throughout South DeKalb. Some of them are manufactured, others we have earned. But it is our responsibility to work together to correct these issues. We are doing a poor job at best at this point, and we need legislation, we need dedication, and we need people that are on the ground. We need the right people that have a seat at the table, who understand how to partner and how to ensure that we address the issues of public safety, crime, and education in our community.
As you see, I pulled my badge out. Yes. I'm dedicated, determined, and dependable. Yes. I advocate for our police department. I serve as a police officer. So when you go to talk about giving yourself a raise, let me explain something to y'all about policing. Been there, first-hand experience. They start off with a certain amount of money. After they leave out the academy, they get a 5% increase. Afterwards, they get another 5% increase. What the county has done, when I was a police officer, they cut away the 10% when you become a master officer. We reinstituted that. So now you're looking at a 15% raise. In 2013, they got a 3% raise with a 3% bonus. In 2017, we gave them a raise from 12.1% to 16.9%. And this year, we gave them another 3%. Yes. So don't tell me about them getting money. I know what they get. I vote for what they get. Yes. I'm serious about public safety. Taking care of our men and women in blue. Yes. This is real, folks. It ain't nothing but a bunch of talking mouth and here, lips over here. This is what's going on. That's right. I know, I'm first hands in. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Commissioner. I will go ahead and ask the audience question. That is, what would you do to clean up the blight and trash, unclipped grass in District 7 in South DeKalb?
Well, with the CEO, we instituted this beautification program. We've torn down those dilapidated condos over in Brandon Hill. We've already taken care of the place over there on Ember Drive. We're working to keep our county beautiful. We just authorized to get street sweepers to come in to help clean up our community. Well, let me tell you who else takes part of that. You do. You got to get involved. Stop throwing trash out the window when you're driving around the street. You see kids that walking, throwing bubble gum, packing paper down. Hey, boy, pick that up. I was at a friend's house and her son was eating some chips and he threw the bag on the ground. I said, boy, pick that up. You got to trust in. You live here. If you don't take pride in your own area, who you think gonna do it? You got to take pride in your own community. You got to work to keep it clean. But DeKalb County, we're doing our job to make it beautiful. You got to play your part too.
Thank you.
I agree wholeheartedly with Commissioner Adams. It is very important that we are responsible, but I also think that it's important that we have code enforcement within our county. There are many instances of homes, dilapidated buildings, high grass, and we have laws in place that are designed to govern these issues. So it is our responsibility to make sure that we notify code enforcement, and it is also our responsibility, I believe, to create capital improvement plans that will allow us to address these issues as your elected officials. Without a doubt, we do have ownership in what we see happening around us, but through code enforcement and working with our local officials, we can definitely make DeKalb County a beautiful area as long as we work together.
I'm running for the 7th District Commissioner's seat. Greg Adams is currently holding the seat. As you look out in your community, you see trash all over the place. It is getting better. However, it's still a big problem. Code enforcement falls under the office of the CEO. The CEO has, the VOC has oversight over the CEO's office. The CEO cannot then contribute to the VOC campaign candidates race. It did expect thorough oversight. We need a house cleaning of the code enforcement department so that we can get better responses to the citizens of DeKalb County. It should not be that you email or call the code enforcement office and not get a response. If I'm the Board of Commissioners member, I will make sure that you get responses based on your email and your phone calls. It should not be the case that you're being ignored.
Thank you. If you all can begin with closing statements.
Well, since I have the microphone, in closing, I'd like to say I'd like to step from behind the scenes working in economic development for some of the world's most notable nonprofit organizations to give some funds to the forefront so that you are adequately represented with integrity, with dignity, and with a strong sense of knowing that you have competent leadership who is there to do their job and do it effectively. I am a proud resident of DeKalb County, and it's time we had more development on this side of town. Everything good seems to be in the north. We are not fighting for South DeKalb, and particularly for unincorporated DeKalb County. I am a high proponent for not equal distribution, but equitable distribution, so that we all prosper in DeKalb County.
Mr. Williams, closing statements.
If you think what we have today is fine, then vote Greg Adams as your commissioner. Yes. But if you think having a lot of Family Dollar General deal stores in your community is a problem, then you need to look at my candidacy as a real possibility. If you think crime in your neighborhood is higher than the city of Atlanta is okay, then you need to vote Greg Adams as your commissioner. If you think it's okay for the county and board of commissioners to vote themselves assistant city raise, then you need to vote Greg Adams your commissioner. If you think that's not okay, then I'm your candidate. I will speak truth to power, and I will make a change in DeKalb County for the best interest of the people at hand. So let me tell you this. You've seen me the last 4 years.
Thank you, Mr. Williams.
About what I would do, and I will do it what I say I want to do.
I am Commissioner Gregory Adams. I talk very passionate because I'm so concerned about our people, our community, our county. DeKalb County has over 750,000 residents. There are 3 states that have less individuals that live in them as related to DeKalb County. Yeah, we did ask for a raise. I guarantee you, you get elected, you're gonna take that raise.
Yes.
Ain't no need in acting no kind of way, oh, no, don't get a raise. You'll take it. Yep. You sign an affidavit because you raised the sand about the raise, you make sure you give it to charity. I want my raise. Yes. Everybody work on a job, you want a raise. You deserve a raise if you work hard. Again, District 7 oversees 350,000 residents. You've already got me someone dedicated, determined, and dependable. Go to the polls, re-elect Greg. You heard the rest. Pick the best.
Thank you very much. 10:42. We were supposed to be out by 10:45, so the opening statements are being cut to 45 seconds. All right. Yes. So it is up to you, George Courtney Johnson, to start us off with your opening statement.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Courtney Johnson, and I am your Chief Superior Court Judge here in DeKalb County. I have served as a judge for the last 8 years. I began my career in DeKalb County as an advocate for victims of domestic violence, and thereafter I became an assistant solicitor prosecuting misdemeanor criminal cases. I also served as an assistant district attorney in DeKalb County prosecuting felony cases. As a Superior Court judge, in addition to my normal duties of presiding over felony, criminal cases, and civil cases, I also serve as a judge on the DeKalb County Drug Court. The Drug Court is a 2-year judicially supervised program that targets defendants whose criminal behavior is driven by addiction. And I have served on that court since shortly after taking the bench 7 years ago. I hope that I can earn your support and your vote. To learn more about me, please visit my website, judgecourtneyjohnson.com.
Thank you.
I'm a candidate for DeKalb Superior Court Division 1. I'm an attorney with the law firm of Johnson, Hopewell, Coleman, and Decatur. I have sat as a magistrate judge, a juvenile court judge, and as a recorder's court judge. I am running for DeKalb Superior Court because I think DeKalb deserves better service in Division 1. We deserve better than a judge who would allow an attorney to urinate on herself because she wouldn't take a break. We deserve better than a judge who would disrespect witnesses in their courtroom. That happened to Ambassador Andrew Young in her courtroom. And we deserve better than judges who cost this county $1.1 million because of judicial error. And that is what happened when the Georgia Supreme Court unanimously overturned the Burrell Ellis case. That was a man who had never been convicted of a crime, no criminal history, but was sent to jail wrongfully. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Kirby Clements Jr. I am running for DeKalb Superior Court Judge, Division 7. I apologize. I've been an attorney for 28 years. I'm a former prosecutor in Georgia, in the DeKalb Solicitor's Office, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. Also, I was in the Fulton District Attorney's Office where I was in sex crimes counsel and also counsel to the school crimes units. I dealt with juveniles, charged adults, and all school-related crimes. I've also been a TV analyst on HLN and other programs for the last 20 years. I've been a successful appellate attorney, having argued cases before the Georgia Supreme Court and Court of Appeals. My platform is very simple: respect, reason, and fairness. Those are the things that you all deserve, because if the law doesn't respect the people don't respect the law. And I want to restore that respect. And you can visit my website. It's electkirbyjr.com. I will say I'm glad to be here. The last time I was up here was at my wedding reception. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Judge Letitia Deere Jackson from the city of Stone Mountain. I am also an attorney, and I have practiced civil litigation, doing complex litigation where millions of dollars are at stake defending Brady Memorial Hospital in MARTA. I am also a former criminal defense attorney, prosecutor, family law attorney, certified guardian ad litem, real estate attorney, as well as contract attorney. I am the only candidate that has sat for 9 of the 11 state court judges that you elected handling their matters. I am the only candidate that has sat in Superior Court, meaning I am running for a seat for a job that I have already had the experience doing. I am currently invested in my community with Leadership DeKalb. I have been a member for 12 years, serving as the membership chair for over 7 years. I'm a 20-year member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, and I'm in leadership at Ray of Hope Christian Church. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Tunde Akiniele. I am running for Division 7 of the DeKalb Superior Court. I am currently the Chief Judge of Lithonia Municipal Court, and prior to that, I started my career in the DeKalb Solicitor's Office 18 years ago, served as an Assistant Solicitor General. I also spent 10 years in Superior Court as an Assistant District Attorney, living in 2013. I started my own practice, a defense firm, and then I became a judge. I sit in DeKalb State Court as a designated judge, so I have been a prosecutor, a defense lawyer, and a judge. I have talked to people about the good, the bad, and the ugly of the system. I tell you, being a judge is like being a referee, but in the case of being in the court system, lives are at stake, and we don't have instant replay. You have to make the right decisions, and I will be able to make that on the first day I take the law. Tunde Akiniele for judge. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roderick Bridges. Why they would give the attorneys only 45 seconds, I do not understand. But I still love you, Turners. Appreciate you having us here today. My name is Roderick Bridges, as I said. I've had the opportunity to serve you as a DeKalb County judge for over 13 years. I presided over thousands of cases. I understand what's going on in the court system. As a full-time judge, I actually created programs that actually benefit our community to help the marginalized. By doing so, I reduced repeat offenders, I eliminated reduced the taxpayers' costs for running the courts, and I saved you taxpayers lots of money. In addition, I've been an attorney for over 18 years. I practiced law in civil court and in criminal. I've also practiced law in state court and federal court, so I have gains of experience on both sides of the bench. In addition, I'm very active in the community. I'm a member of 100 Black Men. Thank you, and I appreciate Roderick Bridges for DeKalb County Superior Court Judge.
Thank you very much, and I guess we can have Mr. Bridges begin the first question. What is your vision for the future of our judicial system in DeKalb County, and why? And how will you balance being an independent judge and an elected official?
I've been a judge for over 13 years, so I'm already trained to know how to be a judge. One of the things I think is important, in order for me to be a judge, I have to understand the community I serve. So I spend a lot of time in the community, working with the community, trying to improve the community. One of the things we heard talk about is the issues with blight and different issues in the community. Well, I work firsthand in the community on a regular basis, and I didn't start that just yesterday. I'm also a part of different organizations that work to improve the cleanup of the community. Last week we were with Commissioner Johnson out on Memorial Drive, actually cleaning up the community. Because I don't know if many of you are familiar with the broken window theory. If our community does not look good, it will not be good. So we have to work hard and bring a relationship between the courts and the judicial system and the community to improve the community. And that's what I've done my entire career, and that's what I'll continue to do when you elect Roderick Bridges as your next Superior Court judge.
Same question. Yes, ma'am. the vision for the court is to treat everybody with respect and fairness. It's that simple. When I talk about the good and the bad, it's to prevent the good from becoming bad. We need to focus on accountability courts. Back in the day, we called it diversion. Now they call it accountability for a reason. Those of us that were Superior Court prosecutors knew that not every case merits the type of punishment, throwing out numbers, throwing out prison sentences. So that is the vision that I have for the court, is to continue to make sure that the young kids do not fall to the trap of becoming bad and becoming ugly. We need to make sure that they are integrated back, becoming good.
Thank you.
I just want to confirm it's a two-part question.
Yes, ma'am.
Vision and...
What is your vision? Should I repeat it for you? Want me to? Okay. What is your vision for the future of our judicial system in DeKalb County? And how will you balance being an independent judge and an elected official?
Sure. So I'll start with the second part first. As I mentioned, I'm a current municipal court judge. I've been a judge for 11 years. I sit in the city of Stone Mountain. And how I keep those separate is you follow the law. You don't get influenced by other people's opinion that are elected officials. That happened just yesterday. If you would like to see more about that in my judicial philosophy, I welcome you to come any Wednesday evening and see me in the city of Stone Mountain. My vision for the court is fair justice and experience you can trust, which means streamlining the cases so that we can get those low-level offenders back to work and keeping the prisons open for those violent offenders. It means that we will manage civil cases by making sure that we can get those cases on a calendar in a timely manner, as well as having separate calendars for the domestic relations calendars. That way, those that are seeking divorce, child support, child custody can have their day in court. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll take the second part of the question first as well. I think that as a judge, when I was a prosecutor, I used to say, you know, I bite the hand that feeds me because I'm a prosecutor. So just because you support me doesn't mean I'm going to give you any cover. Same thing as a judge. I know when I go to court, and then even when I was a prosecutor, I would argue sometimes, my judge isn't going to do this. And I've had prosecutors say that to me. What that means is they know what the judge, we're not arguing the facts, we're not arguing the law, they were arguing the judge. With me, you'll argue the law. That's the issue. The law and the facts, and everyone will be treated fairly. As to my vision for the court, I think I agree with what Tunde said and what Patricia said, and even what Rodney said. I agree with what my opponents. We've all said the same thing and believe that part. I would also add, as a judge, I would go out to the community because I want to talk to young people before they get into the system. Because every time you put somebody in jail, that means there's a victim out there that suffered. So I think as a judge, I will continue the things I've done. I've spoken at the high schools here and in New York. That's what I'd like to do. Thank you.
Because I think that when people come to court, what they're looking for are competent judges who are fair, who are impartial, and who treat everyone with respect. That is how I live my life, and that is how I conduct myself on the bench, and what I would see as a vision for the court. In terms of balancing being an official and a judge, my response would have to be the same. You're hired to do a job, you do it. You have to let that be known. I think people will respect that you have a job to do, and if you do it appropriately, there won't be an issue with you having to make choices that don't comply with what you've been hired to do.
Thank you.
Thank you. My vision for Division 1 is to continue what I have been doing over the last 8 years, which is treating everyone who appears before me with fairness, dignity, and respect. Now, as judges, each day we have to make very tough and difficult decisions. And I make decisions based on my understanding of the law, and our system provides that if there is an error committed by the judge, that there is a higher court that reviews that decision. And I respect those decisions and I abide by them. Now, as a judge, I indicated that I also serve on the Accountability Court, and what we have been working to do since I took the bench is to expand the accountability courts to include a mental health court and a veterans court. I also serve as a local speaker at Career Days. I was just at a Career Day last week, and I also have high school interns in my chambers each summer. So I believe that as a judge, it is important to follow the law in a fair and impartial manner.
Thank you. And I would love for you to continue to stand for your 45-second closing remark.
All right, thank you so much. I have served the citizens of this county for the last 17 years. And I know as a former prosecutor how important it is to have a judge who not only knows the law,
but can follow the law in a fair and impartial manner and is not afraid to apply the law. I have not ever shied away from difficult decisions. There are cases that come before me where there are hard decisions that have to be made, but I have always treated everyone who appears before me, whether as a prosecutor or as a judge, again with fairness, dignity, and respect. I run a very efficient courtroom, and I would encourage anyone to come to my courtroom to see what type of courtroom I actually run, and not just to believe what you may hear in the media or in the streets, because what I am about is being an effective and a competent judge, and I ask for your support and your vote on May 22nd.
I'm offering myself to be your judge in Division 1, and what I would say to you, you think it's not okay for people to be disrespected, if you think it's not okay for people to have fair trials, if you think it's not okay for you to be charged $1.1 million because the Georgia Supreme Court said a defendant did not get justice, then you agree that DeKalb deserves that.
Again, I'm Kirby Clemens, and I'm running for Superior Court Judge of DeKalb County. ElectedKirbyJr.com is my website. First of all, I want to say that my opponents in this race are eminently qualified. I think we're all qualified for this position, so you all have a difficult choice before you. But I will say this, that my philosophy is this. When you come to court, somebody's going to leave unhappy. Somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose. The question is, was the process by which you got there fair? Because you don't like people leaving court saying the judge didn't hear me, the judge didn't listen to me, they had an input. I promise you that will never happen in my courtroom. You're going to hear the law, you're going to hear the facts, and you may not be happy with the outcome, but one thing is certain, you'll say the process by which we got here was fair. That's my platform, reason, respect, and fairness. Kirby Clemens.
I am Letitia Dear Jackson. I am the only Letitia on the ballot. I am the girl in green that you will see around this county. I am the only judge that has been sitting for 11 years in a municipal court. I am the only candidate that 9 of your elected state court judges have trusted with their matters. I am the only candidate that has sat in Superior Court because a judge trusted me with that. As such, I'm asking you to trust me to serve as your next Superior Court judge in Division 7 to succeed Judge Corsi. This is an open seat, and I do want to make that distinction. The girl in green, Letitia Dear Jackson. My website is letitiaforjudge.com. Thank you.
Thank you so much, folks, for allowing us to speak today. Again, I'm Tunde Akiniele. I'm running for Division 7 of DeKalb Superior Court. Judge Corsi, who is vacating the bench, has been on the bench for 36 years. I moved here 36 years ago. I tell people he's been warming the seat for me for 36 years. And 18 of those years, I have been in DeKalb County, one way or the other, as a prosecutor, as a defense lawyer, and as a judge. I am uniquely qualified to take this position. I am respectful, I am fair, and one thing I ask you to do is ask the folks in the court system, ask the deputies, ask the lawyers who know all of us, what do they think about Tunde? That's all I ask you to do. TundeForJudge.com. I am going to be the A on the ballot. Tunde for Judge. I seek your vote. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, my name is Roderick Bridges. You can research me at bridgesfordecalb.com. That's Bridges, F-O-R, for DeKalb.com. As I said before, over 13 years of judicial experience, presided over thousands of cases. I'm also engaged in the community, I understand the community, and I will be a fair and impartial judge. I ask for your vote on May the 22nd. I think I have the right experience, and I'll be the right choice for Superior Court Judge. I also want to thank the Turners and House of Hope for hosting us today and for you all to be in here. It's people like you, your civic engagement, that makes a difference in our community, and I hope you continue to do that. Thank you once again, Roger Bridges for DeKalb County Superior Court Judge.
Thank you, and I ask that you applaud for all of our candidates that you heard from today. My name is Mary Pat Hector, and it was an honor hosting for the Turners this morning.